Walk into the bakery in the town I live in. It's called Bodenheim, Germany. It's a little wine village, and I'm doing something that is part of the reason I moved to Germany 10 years ago. I couldn't walk anywhere. I lived in California at the time. Two small kids. We moved here with kids that were 5 and 2. With 8 suitcases, and we shipped a bunch of stuff as well over here, which arrived like 2-3 months later. So we basically survived on, a furnished house that we were renting, and whatever we had in our suitcases and whatever we bought when we got here. And that was 10 years ago. And the side story is the first 5 years, my health was declining. So here I was, living in Germany where I wanted to move to. I had planned the move for a few years. Finally convinced my wife it was the thing to do. And off we went, and I just kept declining in health. I thought it would rejuvenate me for some reason, but it didn't. So why am I out here healthy and walking around now? Well, I spent the last 5 years reviving my health. And a lot of it was with supplements. And then I made another YouTube channel. If I talk like I've had a YouTube channel before, it's because I do. It's called The Pulse. And, I talked about that whole topic of longevity and reviving myself. And after about 5 years of that and dealing with YouTube algorithm slop and AI slop and all of the stuff you have to cope with, I finally decided to do something else. I still have the other channel. I'll still post there once in a while. But I wanted to get out with this newfound youthfulness and energy and enjoy what's left for me here in Germany. And when I say what's left, because my kids do want to move back to the U.S. And I think it's time. I think 10 years is a good run. Germany is certainly changing. That's maybe one of the reasons for us, but there are a number of reasons that it makes sense. But we're probably at least a year away from that, if not more. And I'm not going to spend a year just waiting to leave. So I've decided to, start this channel, The Continental, and, show people what I like about Europe and why even when I move back to the States, I plan to come back and spend more time here because I do like it here. And it's a walk like this, 5 or 10 minute walk to a 100-year-old bakery to get something to have with my coffee this morning. That's what Europe is about to me. The place we're going to is called Siener Bakery, Bäckerei in German, of course. And it's been in business since 1920. And people line up when they open, especially on Saturdays. People line up for their fresh rolls, the breakfast rolls, and at 7 a.m. when they open. And it's a sight. It's just a cool thing. As you can see, this is a walking street. This is not even a driving path that I'm taking to get here. So it's relatively quiet. I'll see somebody occasionally walking around as well back here, or some kids running through here. It's kind of a shortcut. But the main reason is it's quiet. It's nice. Bodenheim's a nice village. People come here. We just had a big festival with thousands of people here, a wine festival over the weekend. I was going to film that, but I just didn't get around to it. So the next one, they have these things often. I mean, you're in a decent town when it has its own tourist info office. And a lot of this has been redone. It's an older style city or town center, but it's been done in a way that is kind of true to its roots. And as you can see, these half-timbered, a lot of half-timbered houses, and just nice places to walk, that tourist office. And this is kind of the town square. We're within a stone's throw of mines. We're kind of considered, I think, part of mines. And this was the festival we just had. You could see how many people show up for that thing. There's thousands of people. Called the Alban Fest. This is not the bakery, excuse me. This is the butcher, the Metzgerei. It's been here since 1959. Same story. People just walk there and get their stuff. But this and that half-timbered building is Siener Bakery. And on the top it says, since 1920. Some people sit out here and have their coffee in front. But this is where we're going. There's some people in there, so I'm not going to talk too much during this, but I'll try not to video them, and I'll video the food.
Aber du wolltest schon den Rhabarber, oder?
Okay. So what do we get here? I'm gonna, as I said, have these with my coffee, but this is a nut roll. And again, totally fresh, locally sourced ingredients. Let's give it a try, and then I'll indulge and have the rest with my coffee. It's got more weight to it than you imagine just holding it. It feels like it tastes very light, not too sweet. Just a nice breadish roll. Again, even though it's coated with a sugar icing, it's really not too sweet. I'm digging in for the other thing I got. And here we go. This is what they call a chocolate brötchen, essentially a chocolate croissant. It's got chocolate filling in the middle, and on top, not overly sweet. So as a breakfast roll, it's very satisfying. I can see why people line up there. You get used to it. If it doesn't sting your mouth from sugar, it's satisfying. And that's the mistake. Look, I like sweet stuff too, but I think the mistake that we make in the US with such things, and I've talked about this in my shorts, is they just add too much sugar because people are desensitized and they expect it. You know, so I'm not trying to blame the customer. They've definitely done this. You know, it's like one restaurant to the next or one food item to the next. They just try to top the other one, make it sweeter, put more filling in things, more types of sugar. You know, that's one of the reasons the Coke is so sweet in the States. It's got corn syrup, and here it's sugar-based, like in, you know, the Mexico Coke. And it just tastes a lot more refreshing here than that overly sweetened corn syrup Coke, corn soda. So that's it. That's my walk for today, and a little introduction to the channel for those of you out there interested. And little wasps flying around here. And I hope it gave you a little taste for what life is like in Germany and Europe in general. My kids went to school, the younger one. Flip the camera around because you can hear kids yelling. That's a elementary school up the hill. And my youngest son got to go to school there for a few years. Our older son, we lived somewhere else, but he literally just walked to school every day, just like I'm walking to the bakery. What a joy, you know, just send him out the door to school, not have to bring him. Now they either take the train or I bring them to town most days, to the city, because they're in the middle and high school now. And dreaming about the U.S., I can't blame them. You know, I know they're going to miss Europe. I know that. But I understand they're dreaming about the U.S., and people should have dreams. They should dream about the country they're from, and they should know the country they're from. So I'll get into those reasons for our move. It's far enough away that it isn't pending. So I'll get into that another day, and I'll see you in the next one.
Ich habe nicht damit gerechnet, dass jemand zu Hause ist, aber